Hi guys, it is Strawberry Kiwi Cosplay here, and don't mind the look that I got going on. I'm going to be getting into some makeup with you guys as I kind of just talk about my own experiences with cosplay and kind of just giving semi-cosplay advice. And so keeping that in mind, that's why I'm making this video, because I have now 500 plus of you guys watching me, and I kind of want to come in and give you guys some little advice, especially for those who are newer in cosplay, like I was 6+ years ago. I think it's been almost 8 years now since I started cosplaying. I don't really know. It's been a long time. But to find cosplays that are good quality, that are going to last you a long time, that is of a character that you want to cosplay a lot in the future, that's also something you have to keep in mind when buying cosplays. I usually buy my cosplays nowadays, especially off of Easy Cosplay, not only because of the fact that I've had conversations with these people. They are always they're always nice. They're like, customer service is always great. And their cosplays are like at like a good level, like they're mid-level. They're not like super cheap, but they're also not extremely expensive either. And that helps in the sense for people like me who can save up enough money to get stuff from them. And their cosplays are extremely good quality. So they're definitely one place that I would recommend for the people who are just getting into cosplay and can't afford it, to go to them, because they are definitely one of the better places that I've bought cosplays from. Granted, you can also find some really good quality cosplays on Amazon. You just have to read the reviews, and you have to just really just keep your eye open. And that's another thing, is like, when I first started cosplaying, I bought a lot of my wigs and a lot of my cosplays off of Amazon because it's cheaper. And a lot of the times you can get things a lot quicker using Amazon. So that is always nice, especially if you're kind of like on a timeline and trying to get things like before you go to a con or whatever. If you're one of those people who have con crunch, which is something that I can't say never, but it's something that don't deal with deal with a lot when I go to cons. Because usually I'm like a huge planner. I'm somebody who always has to make sure I have everything in time. Obviously, there's going to be some things that I may miss and end up getting last minute, but a lot of the times I am more of a planner. I like to make sure that I have everything long before the convention starts. But for people who do have a lot of con crunches, Amazon is definitely going to be one of your friends. You can find basically anything you ever could need, props or otherwise, or costumes or wigs, you can get off Amazon. Granted, if you're not careful, it's really easy to get wigs that are very, very cheap quality-wise, that are great for like a one-time use kind of deal, but aren't great for if you want to like have them for a long period of time. Though, depending on the character, you can usually find like great lace front wigs off of Amazon, and that's where I get a lot of my lovely lace front wigs. And ever since I started buying lace front wigs, it's made it so that I'm more, spoiled to those and want more and more of the lace front wigs, and now tend to try to just save up to get lace front wigs because they're not cheap. They're like $50, which isn't awful compared to some of them, but they are still like on the more expensive side, so a lot of people can't afford lace front wigs. But for a starter cosplayer, I would definitely recommend going to Amazon and using them and just looking up the specific character wigs. They're really good and cheap, but you can get things for less than $20 on there. And even like cosplay wise, they're also really cheap on there, though they're going to be a little less than $100. Sometimes I think the like average price you can get there is like $50 to $60 for cosplays, and then like wigs are like can be less than $20. But if you don't want to buy things on Amazon and you want better quality and you can't afford better quality, I would always say like Arda is a really good place to go. 5 Wits Wigs is a great place to go. Katsu Wigs is a great place to go. Like, those are all good places to get some decent quality wigs for decent pricing as well. And so I definitely think if anybody had asked, those are the places that I would recommend getting wigs. And another thing is I also had decent experiences with Miku costumes as well. They have an app and an online presence, so they are a really good option as well, and they're relatively cheap, and they also have their own like version of things, and they tend to have some plus size as well on there. I'm trying to think. I think those are the main places that I know of. There's also Pro Cosplay, but that's also a much more expensive side of things, but they have really good quality, and I've gotten a Lumaine outfit from there, though it's way too small for me at the moment. Eventually, I am going to start wearing that once I can fit into it again, because I am absolutely in love with my Lumaine cosplay that I got off of Pro Cosplay. So that is definitely another place, and that's also a good place if you're really into like superheroes and whatnot. That is a great place to get cosplays that are great quality. But oh Jesus, I'm still learning of different places to go to for cosplays and wigs and whatnot, but those are the places so far that I've found that I really like buying stuff off of, and you tend to buy stuff off of. You can also, obviously, by all means, if you have the talent, you can also make your cosplays, like you can sew them and whatnot, and I'm starting to do that as well for certain cosplays. Like Rosalina is one that I really am like trying to work on, and so I'm making that one from scratch, and that is also something you can totally do. But as a beginner cosplayer, I would say that isn't the place you would want to start, just unless you already have past talent of sewing. Then it's a great place to start. Also, I have no idea where this makeup is going, but we're gonna trust the process. And scare myself to death there. But yeah, so those are the places that I would suggest like start looking and whatnot, especially as a beginner cosplayer. And obviously some of them are a little bit more expensive, so that's not great for like beginner cosplayer. In retrospect, I realized that a lot of my advice in this video is kind of like all over the place, and a lot of the times I just tend to not be able to keep track into one line of things. But the bottom line of what I am trying to say is that with cosplaying, it's different for everybody. Their experiences are always going to be different. Things are just going to be different in general. And that it's okay, and we all just need to realize that there is no room for hate in this community. There is no room for people to judge other people and how their cosplays are. Sorry for the little bit of a babble that part of the video was, but here I am coming in with my little voiceover and just wanting to let you know that the bottom line of what I was trying to say is that there is no room for negativity in this community. We already have to deal with that on a daily basis outside of this hobby and this community. And there is no reason for you to compare yourself to somebody else. At the end of the day, everybody's cosplay is going to be different. Everybody has different body shapes, different skin color and whatnot, and that is perfectly okay, and that should never be the reason why anyone could possibly ever throw hate at you. Like, that's just, it's not okay. It's not acceptable. We are just here to have fun. We are just all nerds dressing up as characters that we absolutely love and enjoy watching on the screen. So why can't we just dress up as those and see them at conventions and having loads and loads and loads of fun with all of this stuff? Without that rant, though, I also just suggest, especially for beginner cosplayers, is just keep an eye out for the deals. Keep an eye out for some decent quality wigs when you're first starting out. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.